Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, August 16th. Over the next few days, we will have a return of lightning to western areas, especially going into Wednesday. Could have a few isolated thunderstorms over southern areas of the Carson District today, but the better push is Wednesday into western Nevada, and then eventually into northwest Nevada, late on Wednesday and more into Thursday, and will also extend further east to the north. These thunderstorms will be a mix of wet and dry, and we do have some very warm temperatures over western Nevada, along with recent drying. So we certainly could see the potential for new starts over parts of western and northwest Nevada towards Wednesday and Thursday. Otherwise, a very hot and dry air is in place across Idaho, where temperatures will be near records, obviously well above normal, and we do have some new fire activity, which will remain active. Over the last 24 hours, we saw scattered thunderstorms over the southern half of the region with a good amount of precipitation. Most rainfall amounts were above a quarter or a half inch. Did have some spots where we had precipitation above 3/4 of an inch. Over the last 24 hours, we did have new fire activity across the Great Basin, also a few new large fires up here in Idaho. Over the last 7 days, we've seen well above normal precipitation across much of central and eastern Nevada into Utah, and also pockets at times up across Idaho. Still some drier spots are right along the Sierra front, and also over parts of central and southern Idaho into western Wyoming. Currently, our ERCs have been rebounding quickly with the drier and warmer air in place. We're almost to near normal up towards the Payette and the Salmon Chalice. So again, these ERCs will rise rapidly over the next couple of days with the dry conditions and very warm temperatures. Also, we've seen that response in western Nevada as well. 100-hour fuel moisture is also responding quite nicely, especially over far western areas and up into the north. The satellite loop from this morning shows high pressure dominating the Great Basin, which is responsible for the hot temperatures and dry conditions in the north, and that return of the moisture from the south. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, much of the lightning activity will remain over the southern half of the Great Basin, but we will see that lightning creep a little bit further north and west into southern areas of the Sierra front later this afternoon. Also, very hot temperatures continue in Idaho, and again with near record heat, and active fires, we do have high risk for those hot temperatures. The thunderstorm picture again today, very similar to yesterday with thunderstorms in the south, but you can see very isolated thunderstorms pushing north into the Sierra front. Winds will remain breezy over parts of northern Utah and eastern Nevada, but fuels certainly aren't as critical in those areas. Otherwise, lighter winds are expected. We will see those gusty outflow winds with the thunderstorms. Relative humidity will remain in the low teens across much of the northern half of the Great Basin. As we move into Wednesday, this is the greater push of moisture into western areas, so we'll likely see an increase in thunderstorm coverage. With the drier nature and the faster movement to some of these storms, we do have high risk for far western Nevada, which also continues into California. Much of the lightning will remain out of northwest Nevada, but still southern areas of Winnemucca could see a few isolated strikes late in the day. Otherwise, high risk continues across central Idaho for the near record heat. The thunderstorm picture on Wednesday, again, you can see still the wetter thunderstorms in southern Utah and southern Nevada, but also the moisture increasing along mostly the Sierra front. Wind gusts will remain in the light to moderate range with gusty outflow winds. Relative humidity will still remain in the teens over northern areas and obviously remain elevated above 25% in the south. By Thursday, the moisture continues to push north. We will see a greater potential of lightning over parts of northwest Nevada. Mostly the moisture moving up into Idaho will be in the form of cloud cover, not really much to change any of the fuel conditions, still very hot temperatures near records in central Idaho on Thursday. The thunderstorm picture you can see, we have that increase in lightning over parts of northwest and north central Nevada. So those areas we'll be watching for any potential high risk, as again, those areas have been on the dry side recently. Otherwise, wetter thunderstorms will continue further south, and we will see an increase in humidity along the Sierra front with some thunderstorms continuing on Thursday. Relative humidity will remain in the teens in Idaho again on Thursday with the hot and dry conditions, and increase to possibly around 20% over parts of the Sierra front. Winds generally light to moderate, aside from any gusty outflow winds. So the heat continues. Again, we'll see near record heat across Idaho with temperatures in the valleys above 100 degrees. Also, warm temperatures will continue along the Sierra front into northwest Nevada. These temperatures are above normal, but not really near records. Otherwise, further south, we'll actually see below normal temperatures just with the moisture and cloud cover in place. Forecast amounts of precipitation remain the heaviest precipitation over southern areas. Again, we will see some lighter precipitation in northern and northwest and western Nevada, just some pockets of some brief wetting rains likely with some of these storms. Otherwise, a mix of wet and dry. As we move into Friday, we will see drier air pushing into the western areas of the Great Basin. Could see that moisture move north up into central Idaho. So we'll see if that lightning is a concern going into the end of the week. Otherwise, moisture continues in the south. On Saturday, generally thunderstorms over the eastern half of the Great Basin with very dry conditions moving into western areas. This pattern will continue on Sunday, and into Monday we'll see that drier air push further east, pushing some of that lightning activity off to the east. 7-day total amount of precipitation is not much different than the 3-day in western areas. Again, we could see a return of thunderstorms in parts of central Idaho, which will certainly be concerning with the very dry fuels and the heat coming up and the ongoing fire activity. Otherwise, wetter conditions continue down south. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from August 23rd to the 29th, still shows that moisture remaining in place over the southern to eastern half of the Great Basin, with warmer and drier conditions remaining over parts of Idaho into northwest Nevada on the fringes of that moisture. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.